Good day, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the show. Listen, I'm glad to have you guys here on this Friday. Friday the 24th of July, 2020. Welcome to the show. Now, listen, there's two things I find really odd about this virus. I've found them odd for a while now, two things, and they kind of, for me, they stick out like a sore thumb, these two things, and in my mind, these two things I find odd. I keep dwelling on it and thinking about it as, I don't think about it all the time, I'm more, my mind is fixated on what's happening in the economy, but these two things, I find them very curious, and I just put them on the back burner and think about them from time to time, but I'm going to tell you what those two things are that I find kind of odd. Okay, let's start the charts right here and take a look. This right here. Let me see if I can get a picture of it. Let me close in. This happened a while ago when the virus was first starting, And China, now these are excavators, and this is a large site. Look at all the excavators. You ever seen so many excavators? All these excavators in there, they're practically touching one another. They can barely work. There's so many of them. These big excavators, big excavating earth-moving machines, And very quickly, they're laying out a foundation for a temporary hospital. Let's take a look at this. This is a picture of them erecting the temporary hospital, and all of these pieces that they're erecting are already prefabbed. Okay? They're already prefabbed. Now, I'm going to tell you something. To do a project like this in the United States of America or in Canada or any place else in the world, it would take about maybe 2 years of planning. But the Chinese, I got to give them credit. They were able to do it in just a matter of a couple days. Now, I find this odd. I find it odd because, generally when you have a big construction job like this, this is a big construction job. Look at the size of those trucks and people down there. You can hardly see a person for the size of it. And then built more than one of these big hospitals. All those pieces need to be prefabbed and stuff so that they could erect them into place. How did they do all that so quick? Because this was all done exactly when the virus was starting. I find this odd, how they were able to do all that so fast. How they were able to do all the pre-planning, get the site in, and actually have all the materials already made and constructed and everything already so fast. How did they do that? That's interesting to me. And I find it to be a little bit of a puzzle or a mystery. Now, another mystery I want to point out about all of this, a second mystery I want to point out, is China itself. Now, right now we're at the COVID-19 site where it's showing the virus around the world, how many countries are affected. And I want your eyes to go over here to the left-hand side of the page in the numbers. Let's take a look at the numbers. Here in the United States, it's over 4 million, 4,057,000. Brazil, 2,200,000. India, 1,200,000. Russia, 799 million. Now remember, China's got one of the largest populations on this planet, next to India, with about 1.4, they're both about the same, but 1.4 billion people per country. But India, they're right in here, they're number 3, and India's increasing fast in the numbers. Russia hasn't got that big a population. They're 799,000. South Africa comes in, and then Peru with 371,000. Mexico. Where's China? Even little Chile here, 338,000. United Kingdom, 299,000. Iran, 289,000. Spain, 272,000. Where's China? I don't see China. Pakistan, 270,000. Saudi Arabia, 262,000. Italy, 245,000. Colombia, 226,000. And I keep going down the list further and further and further. Where's China? Finally, we find China. There's more people in Indonesia that have it than in China. There's more people in Iraq that have it than China. China's so far down on the list, somehow they are the only country All the other countries on Earth, one person comes in with the virus, and then a few weeks later, everybody has it. But China's got 1.4 billion people. No virus. Only 80,000 people caught it back when they were building those temporary hospitals. All of a sudden, the virus just disappears in China. Okay, this is a mystery to me. I don't understand it. I don't understand how China did it when every other country tried to do it, they really tried to stop the virus. I remember when it first moved into Italy, they cordoned off whole cities and shut off whole cities and stuff and wouldn't let anybody move anywhere. They blocked the roads in Italy to try to stop it. Did everything they can because this is some sort of this virus can at times be airborne even, right? And so it's extremely hard to stop. But nobody else did it. But look at China. They did it. The only country on earth that was able to do it is a country where it originated from. I find this peculiar and interesting too. Okay. Anyway, let's move on. Let's talk about the silver price today. Silver price is $22.66. It's up 13 cents on the day so far. But to me, when I look at the chart, it looks to me like it's just plodding along in the middle of a new range as it's found for itself. And the new range is somewhere between $22 and $23, with a median around $22.50. So it's $22.66 right now. And so that's what silver's doing today. It's up 13 cents. Let's take a look at gold. Gold's at $1,900. It's up $14 for the day. $1,900 she's up to. Come a long way when you could get it for $11.50 not that long ago. You know, it's come a long way. I'll ask a question. If you was invested in any of these other asset classes, a lot, except for maybe the stock market, would you have made that kind of gain? And the stock market hasn't made that kind of gain in the same period even. That's a big gain from $11.50 to $1,900. That's a big gain over not that great a period of time. What, 2 or 3 years or something? You know, not that great a period of time. That's a pretty big gain. And so, you know, they say, oh, gold doesn't have any yield. Well, I don't see that. I think that if you're invested in gold, you are making a yield where nothing else is making any yield. Right now, that's what it looks like to me. I mean, from my vantage point. Anyway, cryptocurrency today. 286 billion. Bitcoin dominance is 61.3%. Bitcoin dominance is staying down a little bit. That's a good bullish sign. 95.37. So Bitcoin's creeping up in price. It's up to 95.37. Now, I wonder if she'll be able to crest $10,000 pretty soon. I'm thinking probably. Dow Jones Industrial Average, 26,507, and it's down 150. Okay, look at this. Look at this. Okay, see this peak here that lasted about 4 days? And the peak is right at about 26,900. It crested 27,000. So the peak's right at 27,000. Okay? Picture what they did when they took $2.2 trillion and they injected it into the system back in March. Picture that like a firecracker, you know, and it's a 2.2 size firecracker, okay? And it made a loud bang, and this is what we're seeing, the explosion of fireworks and the stock market going up. And this peak here is how high it took it. It's like that 2.2 trillion, what it was able to do in moving the stock market up. So this whole rally has been built on that 2.2 trillion, right? So now we're not going to get a big, because now it's done. It's finished. It's done its big display of fireworks. It's like when you light the fuse and it goes off, and oh, you stand back and oh, isn't that beautiful? Isn't that beautiful? And then all of a sudden it all goes out because it's done. It's burnt out. Flame out. That's what the stock market's doing right now. The $2.2 trillion right now is, oh, isn't that beautiful? Look how high the markets went and everything. But now it's flaming out. So now it needs more. What are they going to do? Another trillion? 1 trillion? Well, if you picture it in firecracker size, it'd be a 2.2 size firecracker, and now they're going to light off a little one. That's just a little pop. That's over. Ain't going to move the markets that much. They got to get in support things, or they're going to start to get a deflate of the system, and they can't allow that. So, but they will, because like I was saying on my show, they're not proactive, they're reactive. So they will react. But right now, they're thinking to themselves, "Oh, we got to be stingy. We got to be stingy," And so they're going to be a little bit stingy, just barely do enough to keep things running. Well, when the whole thing folds back down again, then they got to react. It's going to take so much bigger reaction in order to try to get it back up, and I don't think they're going to be able to, because it takes so much. But they'll try, And what they're going to do is they're going to keep hyperinflating the dollars, while at the same time, because around the world, you can talk all you want. You can say, well, China's back up to 90% or whatever of their capacity of what they're doing as far as work is concerned in these shops and everything, and all these factories. Not really. If you really went to China, you'd find that only half of the people are working over there right now in these factories from what it was. It was milling right along. Smoke was coming out of the factories, puffing out through the chimney, and they were all around the tables assembling iPhones or whatever they were making like crazy. Now you go in the same factory and you probably only see half as many people or less. And so goods are not being produced like they were before. It's as simple as that, and the world's lost about half of its GDP of producing goods. It's everything's been basically almost cut in half. So, of course, the prices, because they're pumping money out one side and there's less goods on the other side, of course prices are going to start to go up on everything across the board. Eventually it's going to start to really take hold as inflation, but it's the kind of inflation where there's no real strong economy behind it, so it stagnates. And they call this stagflation because it stagnates. You got a stagnant economy and you got inflation, stagflation. That's what we got going on here. But it's massive stagflation. It's the worst of anything you could ever imagine is stagflation. Stagnant economy and prices going up. Anyway, it's down 133 points here today, the Dow. And, I can see it continuing to roll down unless they start to throw in more support. And at some point they will. They're only going to let this thing roll down so far before they're going to come in with more support again, more money. But that just makes the stagflation worse. Everything's just descending down worse and worse, and it's all about this stupid virus. I seen a show on YouTube this morning from Chris Martinson's channel, and he's talking about the virus almost seems like it's an alien virus. But I think he's making the point that it's actually alien to us. It's weird. It's just a weird virus. And I'll be some glad when it's gone. Oh, my goodness. It's awful. Okay. Crude oil, $40.90 today. It's off 17 cents on the day. Take a look at U.S. Treasuries, and we see yields falling again today. 1.23 on the U.S. 30-year, and the U.S. 10-year is 0.58. And we're looking at almost a 2.2 basis points fall on the 30-year, and a 1 basis. No, it's just fractional. It's 1/10 of 1 basis point on the U.S. 10-year. You got 1 full basis point on the 20-year. So they're falling. We got falling yields on the long end today. U.S. dollar index still going down, 94.43 today. It's down 0.26 on the day. Okay, guys, thanks for listening to my show. Like and subscribe. Give me a thumbs up. And just remember, there was these texts written thousands of years ago. I think it was thousands of years ago anyway. Sun Tzu. The Art of War, it's called. And I'm looking into it a little bit because it's interesting. Catch you guys in the next show. Bye-bye.